if really these enemies are so dangerous for you, if you are afraid of your life, then surrender yourself to the Lord, because you want to do the mantra. So surrender yourself to the Lord, He will protect you. Why you should kill all these people? Huh? That is what Narada asked him. But then he says that, till now I don't know anybody like a Lord. How can I believe whom I don't know? Then Narada asks, the prophecy told you that it is the 8th child who will kill you. But then why you have killed other 6 children? What is your answer for this? Huh? Then he says that, who knows? It is the 8th child, and it's what the prophecy said. Suppose if I let all the other 6 children to grow, one of them may kill me. So to make it sure that I have killed all the 6 children, that is what he says. My father already was a traitor because he has given my sister in marriage to this fellow, useless fellow, who is against all this imperialism. And already he has done like this. But even then, I was generous that I have not killed Devaki and this fellow. I could have killed immediately on the spot, but I am so generous, therefore I let them live. But where? In the prison. He says, I let them live in spite of knowing that their child is going to kill me. Don't you see this generosity in me? Then Narada asks, you said that Vasudeva is your enemy. But how can he be your enemy? He never did anything against you. And also, he is the son of Surasena. This kingdom belongs to him actually. You are not this person to inherit this kingdom. Your father is actually the king for this. This belongs to Surasena, and his son is Vasudeva. So it is their kingdom. And he made your father to be a king because of his reverence. And then you have taken over the kingdom by yourself. And then you say that he is your enemy. He never did anything against you. He never did anything against anybody. You did all these things and you are calling him your enemy. He has left all these comforts and he is working in the fields and he is working for the welfare of people. Such a person, how can be an enemy? And you call him an enemy? And then he says, in fact, this does not belong even to them. That's what he says. If you say that this kingdom does not belong to me, even it does not belong to them also, then he explains actually from the root where from this kingdom has come. This is also true, but what he said from where this kingdom has come is true. This kingdom is from Treta Yuga, from Rama was there. So at the time of Rama, there was an invader. Because there were forefathers. One of the forefathers of Rama, he left this piece of land which was a forest, and he declared that this area is, we have no control over this area, so therefore I am leaving this as a free zone. That is how he has declared, one of the forefathers of Rama. And then afterwards, during the time of Rama, there was an invader from the northwest frontiers of India, from outside. There was an invader. His name is called Lavana. He made an intrusion into India, into Bharat, at that time. First he came for a trade, a salt trade, a trade for salt. That is why he is called Lavana. Our people called him Lavana because he came for salt trade. Because Lavana means salt. In Sanskrit, Lavana means salt. So he came as a trader for salt. And after coming, then he has seen that this land, this area is free. So he occupied this area. And he said, oh, this is for my trade. But afterwards, he declared himself as a ruler of this large area. And then he wanted to take all the natural resources from this part and to shift to his country. Like the present Chinese, what they are doing.
He came from China, Lavana.
Not from China. He came from almost from the Greece and that type and that area. So he wanted to establish his kingdom, his rulership, and gradually to occupy whole of India. That was his aim. When Rama became the king, the ruler, then he sent one of his brothers. His last brother was Shatrugna. This was in Treta Yuga, when Rama's time. So the last brother of Rama was called Shatrugna. So he sent his brother to destroy this fellow. So then Shatrugna fought with him and killed this fellow, and let all his fellows to go away from. He sent them all out once again from his land and gave this land to the people to make their cultivation and to make their cattle and all this. So since then, the descendants, they were in charge, they were ruling this.
The descendants of Shatrugna.
Of Shatrugna. And then this Surasena is one of those sub-descendants, and who was continuing in the same manner, not putting tax and protecting all in the same good manner. So now Kamsa has grabbed this. And now Kamsa says, when it does not belong to, actually Surasena is not a descendant, but he was one of the people who was later, who was taking care of this. Not actually descendant of the clan, but he has inherited because there is long time. Treta Yuga means very long time. This is the end of Dwapara Yuga. So now Kamsa says, originally it belongs to Lavanasura, not even to these fellows. So now what is wrong if I grab this from them? That is his logic. When this does not belong to Vasudeva or his father, so I have taken the power in my hands. So what is wrong in this? That is what he says. That whoever has the power can rule. That is what he says.
Whoever wants to take the power.
Yes. You see that logic, that wicked logic is there always. Actually, it does not belong to him, but he says, I have the power, so I have taken this into my rule. So what is wrong with this? And because, you see, so then Narada says, so you argue that your taking hold of the kingdom is valid and lawful. Yes, he says, yes. My taking up is not wrong thing. Then Kamsa says that Vasudeva made wrong interpretation of the the rights of the kings. He says, Vasudeva always says that the kingdom is for people. But it is not true, he says. Kingdom is for the kings, not for people. That is his argument. Vasudeva has distorted this, that is what he says. He has distorted this order and he made all these people free. They can have their lands, they can have their riches. But actually all this belongs to the ruler, the king. It should belong to the ruler. So they have to pay taxes, they have to obey what the rulers say. But this fellow could not maintain all this, therefore I have taken up. That is his argument. So if we let the people enjoy freely, they will have they will have no good, see, they will not care for the rulers. That is what he says. So they should be always kept in such a manner that they should be subordinated to the rulers, to the kings. This should be the way of doing. So therefore I have taken up, because these fellows failed. My father had failed, and the Vasudeva also failed in this. Therefore it is my responsibility that I should take up all this and to rule. You see the logic of these fellows. So it's exactly the present time also this same logic.
Ignorance and arrogance go together.
Yes. And also he says that these fellows who are with the cattle in the fields, they are not, they have no capability to have rule. They are always, they have to work, they are workers. They are the working class, they have to work in the fields and get some remuneration out of this. But this Vasudeva made all of them to have independence. If everybody is independent, who will be subordinate to the rulers? That is what his argument. There should not be so much of independence to everybody. So everybody should have discipline to be under the rule. That is his argument. Because we are the rulers, we are their protectors, therefore they should honor us and they should accept us as their rulers. So if you declare independence to all of them, they will be conspirates, they will make conspiracy against rulers like me. That is what he says.
So this was the shift from leadership to rulership.
Yeah.
Or rulership by authority or by force?
Yeah, by force.
By force.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's by authority.
Yeah.
No, because leadership is totally different.
Yeah, that is
But they
different.
call them all leaders today.
Yeah.
Obama and so on, and all these liars, all
Yes.
these criminals, they call them leaders.
Leader. They call themselves
But they are
leaders.
not leaders, they are rulers.
They are rulers. They,
Because they target even single persons with their drones when
Yeah.
they are not
yes.
not in their line. So,
That is what this fellow also
Yeah.
doing. He always sends his spies
uh,
and says, whoever is against me, kill.
yeah. Yeah.
That is what these fellows do. So Narada says, okay, so you are convinced with your own logic, but don't forget that even behind all these things, it is the divine plan. Huh?
Yes, unfortunately.
Then Kamsa says, I have imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva to prove that this is wrong.
But there is no plan.
There is no plan. Because you said according to divine plan, Lord will come down in from the 8th pregnancy. So now I have imprisoned them. I will destroy the 8th child also. Now what can you say now about the divine plan?
Wait and see.
So he challenges Narada. Now he says that if I successfully destroy the 8th child of Devaki and Vasudeva, would you accept a defeat, that all the philosophy of what you and all these rishis are telling is futile? Then Narada says, yes. If you can destroy the child coming from the 8th pregnancy, definitely we will surrender to you. We will accept defeat, surely, if it happens so. So at the end, then he says, yes. Then when are you giving the mantra? He says, you wait. Anyway, she is pregnant now. 8th pregnancy is there. In a few months, you will decide the whole thing. So let it be decided. When once it happens, what as you said, so then all of us, we are at your disposal. Then you can command us. You can wait for a few months. Then you will see. Meanwhile, there is no hurry. We will be available always to you. Wait for initiation, he says. That is the end of this chapter.
Full of trust.
Yeah. So there's not too much dramatic change on the planet in the last
No.
5,000 years.
It's only the beginning, yeah?
Yeah. Beginning of Kali Yuga. Yeah.
Yes. Still 4,000.
Beginning of Kali Yuga.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
beginning of Kali.
420
And
now
years
it's
we have
years
another 400.
4,000.
432,000 years.
Yes.
but
Oh,
it's
And we
have
have
only
only spent
5,000.
5,200 years only.
Yes.
5,250
So we
years.
have
like
another more than 4,000,
Oh, yes.
400,000 years to
Yeah.
Kali Yuga.
No.
yes,
now.
400,025.
Yeah, this
So, but this is only a
But time is
sub-cycle.
changing
Yeah,
things.
sub-cycle.
Yeah,
Things go
sub-cycles.
It's a
quicker.
sub-cycle.
Sub-cycles, yes.
Yeah.
You see, he had Narada himself before him, but still
Yeah.
Yes, but
he wants to convince Narada also like this.
because
Yeah,
he's
when
not
you
a
are
believer.
Yeah,
He's not in touch with the.
when
with
you are
this-
blocked, you can see.
yeah.
But you have another chapter. There are 5 chapters there.
No.
No, there are 33.
33.
Aha.
33 chapters.
This was aha. In
This
this
was the
book.
fourth.
Mhm.
This is not in English, this is only in Telugu.
Mhm.
So,
But every time when I read, we read so many times, every time it is again and again like a revelation, and exactly gives the solution of the present situations and how we have to behave in this situation. Because sometimes we feel that, oh, everything is going like this, what we have to do. And we study the book once again, how we have to behave.
Mm.
yeah.
So now we have the lunch break.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So after lunch we have this other one.
Yes.
Yes.
This
This
The
is the
teaching of
teaching of
Sanasujata.
Sanasujata.
that is
Chapter.
also from Mahabharata.
Okay. We start at 3.
Yes, at 3 o'clock.
Yes, we.
That is a dialogue between the blind king and Sanasujata.
And this is Bhagavad Gita.
No,
Sanat Sujata.
Sanasujata is not.
I don't remember who is Sanat
And
Sujata.
of the 4 Kumaras.
Ah, yeah. No, I wasn't. I don't remember who.
You've been interesting in the next 20 years what happened on this planet.
Yeah.
Well, the next 1,000 years.
The next, why the next 20 years?
Because 2025 is a special year. And,
They said 212 is a special year.
We
no,
are.
this is the Mayan calendar, but there are other cycles also.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this year is very important.
This year is
Yeah, we are
important.
now already in the.
Yes, yes.
We are all right in the golden age now.